Hi, welcome to my channel, TrainStation2. Alright, gonna give you a preview of this safety Earth event. So what's gonna happen here is that we have quite a long event here to go. Of course, as usual, these are the long events that will drain you with 6 competitions. Alright, so be prepared for that. Generally, it's not a new event. I'll go through with you briefly, and then later on I'm gonna share an old video that how I've played the first competitions, etc. So raw materials wise, there are only two. This is the plastic trash, and of course the glass. And then all this together with the non-event items, so you can make plastic pellets. So this is just from the plastic trash, that's easy. And then the next items you make is the recycled glass, and that you need some coal, which is relatively easy as well. Then the wind turbine, this one's a bit tricky here. You need some steel and nails. Nails come from steel, so you know what to do. Prepare lots of nails. And electric scooter, you need copper. Copper is the one that's painful because it takes half an hour. And then next but not the solar panels, you need steel and recycled glass, so make sure you do a lot of recycled glass. All right, so currency wise, wooden keys, basically that's event keys, and then of course recycle batch and EP. So all this comes from a competitions, and of course this are the factory. If you are rich enough and pay real money, you have two. Otherwise, most of us have only one. You're gonna do upgrades of slots of 30 gems for one slots, and then 80 gems for another one. So if you're looking for really good trains, you'll come to that. But it's the event period of 6 competitions, and of course, as usual, this is what we've been fighting for. The event trains, the legendary, there'll be 2. This is one of them, C and O. All right, so there'll be another one later on. Come to that. This is a common train, GR. Also JR, and then there's a BR, which is an epic train. There'll be a rare train, definitely the Korea Euro 4001, and then there'll be a last one. This is another legendary. So in total, 2 legendaries. All right, so now I'm going to share you an old video that we used to on the safety Earth. All right, so now enjoy it. And it was so surprising. Thought that we could just get top 10, but eventually we managed to get third place. Not too bad, as we started a bit later than usual, and then we dropped all the way to the 22nd at the start, whereby people having hundreds of EP ahead. Alright, so now almost towards the 22 hours, closing towards the gap of end of first competition. As usual, do try to prepare all the items that are required before you send the trains out again. So at this juncture, we are at top 5, fighting really close, really tight with the 3rd and 4th. I know the 1st and 2nd is a goner. They're definitely way before us, and there's no way we can catch up with that. Let's take a look what we get from this container. Nothing surprising. As usual, it's just common trains. Alright, so now... Oh, that's loud. Alright, so as usual, the importance of upgrading your trains so that you have good capacity is really paying off, especially in this kind of competitions when you send the trains that has, let's say, full capacity of 80. That's great. But if not, then you'll be sending multiple dispatches and wasting on that context. Alright, so here we are normally engaged with 53, 27, and 40 EP. Try your best to do the 53 EP and 40 EPs, and unfortunately sometimes the 27 EPs are the ones that only will have all the fastest. So that could also be done, of course, because those other EPs are sometimes really tough. Maybe send 2 or 3 rounds of a dispatcher, so that's more or less equivalent. But sometimes, who knows, we are lucky where we have good jobs that give 53 EPs and can be done within a few dispatches. So it all depends on luck sometimes, I must say, especially when they have restrictions on the type of engines and whatnot. So here we are trying our best again to fight and make sure we cleared that tough jobs there. You can see it's not going too fast because of the restrictions of type of trains and engine, so it's a double whammy over there. Alright, so the the fact that after this first competition, you really got to prepare for the second competition by making sure you could, if you could, get 53 EP times 3. All right, minimally try to get a 53 and 240s. Try not to have a head start with 27s EPs, because they're totally not worth. Because just imagine this: if people are having 53 times 3, they will have a head start of 159 EP. So there's something that everybody will be aiming for. And also the fact, if you could, continuous doing all those jobs, because that push you towards 100% completion. And eventually, when you have completed 100%, I'm hoping they applied the same concept. Any jobs you complete will be giving you 70 EPs. All right, so that is something that I'm hoping for. That's it. Definitely I'm going to push all the way. And in the midst of the time, you're going to claim trains. Please, I urge you not to do so. Stay put with the savings of your event keys, and then you save all the way until you get a legendary, because getting legendary is not easy. And I must say that if you change it too early, you may not get a chance to change out the better trains. Okay, so this is something you're gonna bear in mind, and not necessarily you are always able to get all the 5 trains. That the most difficult one definitely is the event coins, but in this case it's really like the safety earth badges rather than event coins. Okay, but most of the time called event coins. And in this the event itself, you will see that actually there's an icon on the first place, so this is something interesting for some of them. So that's it. Moving ahead with leveling up is something is causing a bit of dilemma, in the way that when we push it up, give us event completion, you're going to push some jobs and whatnot, you push your level up. But that's it. You know that the moment you reach really high levels, eventually you will eventually cross the next region, and with very poor savings of keys, it may not be that easy. So I urge you to really make a balance in that context. All right. So fighting first, second is impossible, but 3, 4, 5, and always drop back to 6th position. So I'm always struggling between the 4 and 5 and third place sometimes. So it is some kind of a struggle, but I think there's a need to ensure we continuously do our part, because it's hoping for one thing, is that the people on top, like the people on the 3rd, 4th and 5th position, are going to sleep soon. So these are the moments I've been waiting for. Because of a timing difference, a time zone difference, is something that we got to really work it out. Given the fact that it's a short 2 days competition, we may not know our competitors that well in terms of their sleeping pattern. Sometimes in the 3 days competition, for there I will be able to judge the sleeping pattern, and this is something that I always try to figure out to understand the competitors' movement. This will also allow you to judge which are the players that are in the same time zone as you, so that you can watch out for that. But of course, there's nothing really much you can do, but just a bit of knowledge there, so you can do and see how you can plan better. It's all about resource planning, and I think a lot of luck factor, because sometimes really the items they ask for you may not have, and you got to grab them, or even you don't have, they are from a certain factories and can grab them easily. So it is a lot of information gathering is a way. At the same time, a lot of luck that comes in play, because with the information gathered, you can try to see how you can plan better in terms of resource. Like for example, there are certain jobs you do, you know that the train is going to send a very tiny capacity. We are waste of so-called dispatcher. You could keep on doing that, but you could balance it and then send some of the higher capacity trains up here under dispatcher. Alright, just now that 3-star container was a bit disappointment. I was hoping for at least an epic, but it came out a rare. So this is always the case in Russia. I don't know about you, if you are in a certain region, sometimes you know that you feel lucky. For me, I don't really feel that lucky in Russia. It's just that there's no better way to establish luck by looking at the number of trains you got. So for me, I've so far only gotten one legendary region train in Russia, and of course event-wise quite lucky. Managed to get 2 legendary from the previous event. I'm really hoping so. The same thing for this event. If we could get 2 legendary, that would bring our legendary trains in Russia to 5. But that said, it's easier than done, because the fact that fighting competition is not easy with a small capacity and a warehouse capacity and train capacity. These are some of the team problems I got to face, and it's not easy to upgrade population with the buildings. It costs so much to make sure that the population increases. Alright, so that's it. We have come to the end. Fast forward just to show you this. We have managed to collect 200 event badge. I'm quite glad with that, because we've managed to continuously get 200. We should complete within the 5 competitions, and I just got to ensure you there are 6 competitions in this event. It's normally a case of 2 days followed by 3 days, and then 2 days and 3 days, and so on and so forth, right? So that's the way it is in all events. The only difference from this event from all other events is really the implementation of smaller job completion. You can see 5 and 4. This is identical to the previous one, the immediate one that we just played a few days ago. That is the one that actually implemented this first, which means that I want to kill off that 99% completion strategy that we have been adopting. So now no longer, that's why I said you work towards 100% completion, because it seems like those who complete early are being rewarded with 70 EPs. I'm hoping that will appear in this Safety Earth event as well. Alright, so far I've collected 2 rare train today. So in a way, the 3-star container was a bit disappointing, gave me a rare train, but unfortunately that's the way it is. But good thing is that I just got another rare train. Like you can see, it's a similar rare train from a 100 key container, so it's somewhat balanced off. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm coming towards the end of it, and thank you for watching. I'll show you more probably preparation, or maybe the start of the next competition itself. Alright, take care and have a good rest. Goodbye.